It is finally time because we need to talk about brushes. In my beginner series that I did last year, and I think there is still a part missing. I think I wanted to do complementary highlights. Okay, I just have to write this down for my to film video list because I have so many ideas currently. I'm flooded at. I need to do brain dump. Where was I? Brushes. I got a couple times the questions, what brushes do I use? During my Alamus series, I also got a couple times the question, what are my favorite brushes? And today is finally the day that we are talking about brushes. I have actually a lot here in front of me, so I don't want to go in a particular order. I just grab them as they lay here in front of me. Just a little disclaimer, I am going to talk about Rephr. And before any of you is writing, yes, Bansard, I wish I was. If Rephr would ask me to get, like, do you want to be part of this? Do you want to have PR? Do you want to be sponsored by us? I would be like, yes. Because I truly enjoy Rephr brushes, but only a certain type of brush from Rephr, but I'm going to talk about this in a minute. I just want to make you aware of the fact I am a brush whore. That means I have way too many. That means in numbers, I did not count them, please don't make me to, but I think I am at a good 150 to 200 brushes. I already talked about my brush wash system because I do always spot clean. I always have a spray bottle with the MAC brush cleanser aside here, and after every use I do spot clean my brushes. That does not remove the stain that they can have, so some of these brushes that I show you, they're stained because I just literally used them. Literally used them today. And I maybe used them for 2 weeks now because the stain is there, but I do, as I said, spot clean them every day. Once they're too dirty so that the spot clean I feel is not enough anymore, or for example with eye brushes, the spot clean does not remove certain type of shimmers, then everything is still glittery in the bristles. Then they go to a little bag that I hear at the side of my desk, and once this bag is full, we have a very long washing session, and I take about, I don't know, maybe an hour, 40 minutes to an hour. I put on a show on my iPad and then I just sit at the sink in my kitchen and just wash my brushes. And I just decided I want to do it a bit more like sorted out, so let's just go through different categories of makeup. My brain just was like, okay, that's much better to do so. So let's start with foundation, and I'm pretty sure I do have 6 to 7 different foundation brushes because this is the brush that just comes into my wash bag every week. Like after 5 uses, spot cleaning is not enough for me, then it goes to the bag. But the perfect, like the most perfect foundation brush that I own is actually from Haus Labs. This is the Haus Labs, it doesn't have a number or a name, but it's the foundation brush they sell. They do have only one, so you can't miss this. This is the absolute best brush for everything. It doesn't matter if you have a serum foundation, a liquid foundation, a jarred foundation, like a gel consistency. This just works. The only type of foundation this, in my opinion, does not work very well are those ones, the tinted moisturizer ones, but the one with the water. Let me show you what I mean. I am talking about these foundations. This is the Rose Inc Luminous Tinted Serum and the Chanel Water Tint. These kind of do not vibe with this certain type of brush. These do vibe with, well, when I found out what they actually vibe with, I tell you, because even though I like both foundations, kind of, it's a pain to get on. But this brush is an absolute gem. I don't want to say that everything is like streakless afterwards. I think that's an impossible term. But this is the brush that applies foundation the most, or like the closest of being streakless. For concealer, this foundation brush just got a little sister last year, and this is the Magic Concealer Brush. This is actually the exact same shape as the foundation brush, but smaller. I love this. This is the best concealer brush in this motherfucking world. Usually, especially with concealer, I usually apply it, blend it out with a brush, and then I have to go over it with a sponge to make it a bit more seamless. When I use this one, it's like whoop and brr, brr, and you're good to go. And yes, this is the exact sound that this brush does. No, it isn't. But this is a beautiful brush, and this, from all of the concealers that I used it with, works with everything. I also use this to apply my under eye corrector every day. It's amazing. For face powder, and this, you know, face powder, I just like to apply with any fluffy brush that I have. Like, be big, be fluffy, and I'm happy. But the one that kind of stands out to me is this one. This is the Spectrum A01 brush. I know this is like the basic set or something. Like, they have a very specific starter set with this bristle type here. And this is just a good powder brush. I love this. It's big enough to like cover your whole face. It is really good. And you know, it has kind of a density, but it's not dense. Do you know what I mean? What I like to do the most with this, I take a powder puff with my loose brush. Yes, I'm a puff girl. And I just apply the puff everywhere. I press it in a bit, but I always go over everything with a powder brush like this, or the most favorite one with a Spectrum one. And I just, you know, swirl and swipe, and then you're just having a very nice kind of airbrushed finish. I know airbrushing is like not really a thing that you can achieve on your face without an Instagram filter, but it's very close. For my under eye powder, it is mainly a specific shape that I like, and I'm talking about those, you know, longer dome brushes, but a specific brush that in this certain shape of brush is the best is actually Rephr number 18. And I still have to buy a backup of this because, you know, when this is not good enough for spot cleaning and it goes to the bin, I'm always very sad because I just don't want to stop using this. It has the perfect size to fit this area. It is dense enough to pick up a good amount of powder, but it's also fluffy enough to distribute it very evenly. For cream and liquid contour / bronzer, there are two motherfuckers in the market that really are it. This is the Fenty Beauty 125 brush. This is my game changer. This is the one that made me re-fall, or initially actually fall in love with Charlotte Tilbury, the contour wand, because I always had problems with blending the contour wand. It was there, the dots were there, but whenever I used a different brush, it was muddy. It did not look good. This motherfucker though, this is dense, but there is still a flexibility. So I dot it on, and then I just do this motion. I don't move the brush a lot. The bristles do everything for me. It always looks nice and beautiful, and I just cannot get enough. Another brush that I really want to recommend, and I think it's so underrated, Sephora Pro brushes. And this is number 93. This is actually a blush brush, but I don't use it for blush. I use it for stick bronzer. You know, when I decluttered my Rare Beauty bronzer sticks, I said, when I want to use this thing, I don't want to use a brush. At the end, I just thought about the sentence and I was like, you know what? You're such a dumb fucker, because you don't apply the stick and then like it blends out with magic. You use a brush anyway. So I started to use this brush with my Makeup by Mario sticks. And what I do is I just, you know, if this was the stick, I go like this, maybe 2 or 3 times. And then I slightly start to like pat it on and swipe a bit, and then also flick it. Absolutely amazing brush for sticks like this. I haven't tried it with potted cream concealer, cream bronzers and contour, like the NARS cream bronzer one or the Vive one, because for that, and this is the third brush that I want to recommend, I love to use brushes like that. They have long, kind of flexible bristles, but they do have a flat top. I take basically the product and then I just swirl the brush a bit and then I just start to apply it like this, and it's such an amazing one. This specific brush that I'm holding up here is also by Spectrum. They make great brushes. The Sculpt series, and this is number 06. I don't think that the Sculpt series is still available, at least it's not on the website anymore. I've seen it on Look Fantastic or Cult Beauty, but I'm honest with you, it's overpriced in those shops. So for liquid and cream blush, there are two brushes that just rule it all. One, and this is the best that you will find in the market for any type of liquid blush or for potted cream blushes, it's the Rare Beauty one. This is the one that I got after I struggled with the Rare Beauty liquid blushes, and I was like, when they have a specific brush for this, why am I not using it? And you know what? This changed my life. I have showed this in my beginner video where I just talked about blushes, and I showed the amazing magic that this can do with the darkest one that I have. I think it's a color Faith. This is like my lip color, very, very dark purple. I used 2 fucking dots of this. How freaking daring am I? Dot, dot. And then you take this and you just tap, 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 and you keep on tapping. Just do not swipe, because with swiping you kind of interrupt the foundation underneath. But with tapping and these, like, it's kind of like the Duo bristles. What are they called? Duo fiber brushes. I was just missing the name. It is kind of like that, but different. The shape, the bristles, the size. Best brush ever for cream and liquid blush. But then there are also stick blushes, and I mainly realized that with the Pat McGrath stick blushes that I'm just not a type for this. I don't like how they work. It's not my thing to just swipe them on my face. And I was very disappointed, especially with the Pat McGrath ones. But then I discovered this. This now is also specifically the Pat McGrath blush brush that they have, but this shape. Tapered down here and then it just fluffs out. It is very, very soft and flexible, and it is domed. And what I do is, again, if this is now the stick blush, I get the product like this and then I just start tapping. Just start tapping and tap, tap, tap. Don't swipe, don't circle, tap. And the magic, I think, with this is because this is such a loose, actually more like an under eye setting brush, it takes up this balm texture so well and it translates it so well to your face. I love it. You do not have to get this one. Like, there are thousands of brushes out there. This actually is my favorite, and you see, I was just too lazy to here remove that motherfucking piece of plastic because it's like glued on the ferrule. But I don't care anymore now. I'm better than this. But I have a couple brushes from other brands that look like this that are just equally good. When it comes to cream and liquid highlighter, I struggled for the longest time to find a brush. I, for the longest time, used a very small duo fiber brush. Then I had some brushes that are kind of shaped like setting brushes, you know, like the Revlon one that I just showed you. But it was not the thing. And then I found this. This. Oh my god. This is the Sephora Pro 90. This is also labeled as highlighter brush. This is perfect. Liquid, no problem. Creams, no problems. Applying this from the stick, no fucking problem. The only thing that I still do not like this with, and this is also one of the few makeup steps that I don't mind applying with my fingers, those clear highlighter balms. This type of product I just love to apply with my fingers, just directly from the pan. But for example, highlighter balms like the Westman Atelier one in the shade Lit, or the clear balm side on the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Duos, this, you know, take just the stick, you know what I mean? Then like this, and then I tap. Again, do not swipe, do not circle, tap. Sephora Pro brushes are the GOAT, and I think they're very underrated. And those that I just showed you, the two, I will definitely buy backups from. But they're like 25 euro a piece, so they're not cheap, but they have such an amazing quality, it's worth the price. When it comes to powder bronzer and contour, there are just two brushes that, in my opinion, are the best that I've ever tried, and both are from NARS. This is, I think, actually a NARS blush brush. I have no idea how this is called because there is just no name on here. They have different blush brushes, but I'm talking about this specific one. It is tapered and pinched here at the bottom, and then it's just very, very fluffy. But because of this tapered shape, you know, it's kind of narrow over here, and you can just go into this area perfect. And I love to use this with bronzer. For example, today I'm wearing an Hourglass bronzer. I took the brush, took some of the product, and then I just started in like with this direction, and then I start to circle and just go over the face, and then I also take this side and do it like that, just to give a very bronzed look. When it comes to contour, I want to be very precise, and you know me, you see me, I mean, look at my eyes. 2015, 2016 makeup here in my heart never died. I know it's coming back and you're all behind the trend because, you know, I am the trend apparently now. But the NARS Ida brush, do you remember when every single beauty guru back then used this brush? Pepperidge Farm remembers. And I do too. This is perfect. And I don't know if this is still the case, but back then the Benefit boxed blushes used to come with a brush in the same shape like that. If you still have one of those, or if they still come like this today, don't throw this brush away. It's the same shape and this works easily, and it works equally good. And what I do with this, you know, tap into the contour and you can just press it in and then do this, flick it upwards, and you're good to go. For powder blush, there is only one brush, Rephr number 5. This is actually the first brush that I ordered from Rephr, and I immediately decided that this is my perfect blush brush. It has the perfect size, it is fluffy, it is so soft, but it's dense enough to pick up product, to even pick up very light and densely pressed products. For example, the Flower Nose blush that I own, oh, what is that one? Let me look it up. This one here from the Moonlight Mermaid line. This looks stunning in here, but this is not only very hard pressed, this is also very, very sheer and light. But this brush is soft enough to distribute the product very nice, but it's also stiff enough to pick up enough of this very sheer, kind of hard pressed powder to get enough product so that even I, with this sheer formulation, can see a tint on my cheeks after just one layer. But it's also perfect for layering. It does not disturb anything underneath. It just feels like heaven. Oh my god. Where was I? Okay, sorry. This is the brush. I have two of these because when this is in my washing bin, bag, I could not do blush because I have eliminated every other blush brush in my collection. I only use this Rephr number 5. Let's circle back to 2016 makeup because my favorite highlighter brush still to this day is the Real Techniques setting brush. These are the best. I have two of those. Yeah, this is I think the original one with the pink handle, but I also have one with a, white or silver handle that came in a set for Christmas, I think. Like it was just brushes that are already in the line but repackaged. But it's basically the same. The best highlighter brush, the best size. It picks up any highlighter like a dream, and then you just swipe it on and you're a glowing 2016 goddess. Now let's talk about eye brushes. And the thing with eye brushes is very complicated because I myself do love small, precise brushes. A lot of people don't like this because they're not like me. They're not so extra as I am. Because what I wear today, you know, this or this look, is something I wear to the office. Like, I don't fucking care. I probably would even go to the office with 2 different looks. Like, I couldn't care less. So, eye brushes, very, very personal. So I just want to give you different options that I personally really enjoy. So the first one are these beautiful brushes that you have seen already 1,000 times here on my channel with the red handle and the white bristles. These are the Be Perfect X Stacey Marie Artist brushes. They come in a set with, I think, 28 brushes. 7 or 6 of those brushes are face brushes. They're good, they're nice, but they're nothing special because this set is definitely more centered around the eye brushes. You have beautiful blending brushes, but you also get a ton, like I think 4 or 5 of those small pencil brushes in different sizes for this precision work. If you have no clue what type of makeup Stacey Marie does, please head over to her Instagram account because she does live tutorials over there. She shows her looks, but if you don't want to check her out, she is the one that I think basically invented the temple eyeshadow because her eye looks are very intense. They start here and then they just go up onto your temple. And these brushes are there for all the detail work. If you like to do looks that require a lot of detail work, that means you want to blend together small details, you want to create shadows where maybe no natural shadow would be because you just define a completely new shape on your eye, this is the set to go. It is a bit pricey, so we're talking €150 for this set. But let's be honest, 28 brushes for €150, that's not a lot of money. That definitely is not a lot of money. And quality-wise, these are stunning. They came out together with the Interstellar palette, the Carnival 5 one, and that was 2022. Oh my god, yeah, it was 2022. And I bought these brushes when the palette launched. So I bought these together and I love them. None of them has shed a hair. None of them has lost kind of the quality or softness or denseness. They're stunning. They even, you know, these are used brushes that are just spot cleaned. And you see some of them, I hope you can see, some of them have maybe a bit of a dark tip going on or a bit stained over here. When you wash them, like with water and soap, the stain is gone. These are the only brushes that lose their stain, no matter what I use their shadows with. I think in my collection here, I don't have any of these that have a stain on. While I have other brushes with white bristles where I use, for example, a hot pink. That hot pink stain is there forever. I don't mind that, so don't get me wrong, but if this is something that's important to you, these are stain proof. At least with the shades I have used. So I don't know what you use with, so maybe that's wrong, don't quote me on that. The same level of precision, and I would even say it's precision on crack, you are able to achieve with the Sculpt set from Spectrum Cosmetics. It's also quite expensive, but I'm pretty sure I bought this for a very good discount on the Spectrum Collections website. Maybe for €180, and you got, it was 30 brushes. Like, it's a very, very big set. Again, there are face brushes in there. They're decent, they're nice, they're good. but the eye brushes is where it's at. I mean, look at these two small pencil brushes. This is so amazing for detail work. I can't. And then look at these three. Let me show you them. These are the smallest packing brushes that I own. They are amazing for that. And I think I even have one smaller because they do the detail work. And that is what I want sometimes. I want to have the details. I wanted the details. I want the details. I need the details. Spectrum collection brushes in general are absolutely top notch in my opinion. Sometimes they're a bit overpriced, but they also do have good sales on the website. And now to the part what I just said in the intro. Rephr brushes. These brushes, you guys, and I'm pretty sure I didn't grab all of them that I have. They're amazing. They're it. They're it. They're not so good for the detail work. That's why I do have the others. But everything like your standard blending, your standard transition crease deepening every day. These are your friends. You don't need anything else. They are so good. And do you know what Rephr did? They just took their popular brushes and then they took them and made them one size bigger and one size smaller. So you basically have a standard size, a mini and a max size of every single blending brush. And I'm telling you, I bought the set with all of them because they're just too good to be true. I wish I could work with Rephr. I wish I could get PR from Rephr because I would die instantly. So if you know somebody at Rephr, my email is in the info box. They can contact me. But for real now, Rephr is so worth it. And one important thing, if you want to get Rephr brushes, don't buy them full price. Rephr has sales all the fucking time. They do have a concept store where you get the brushes for 40 or 50% off. The only thing you have to do for that is you basically agree to definitely write a review. And I think it's after 6 weeks, then they do contact you where you can just write your review. You have a link and then you just fill in the form with a couple questions and that is your review. That's everything you have to do to get the brushes for at least 40% off. I love them. They're good. You need them. And this is coming from somebody who's not getting PR from Rephr. I get also asked a couple times a week on Instagram, via DM, how do I apply my glitter gels with? Because I do have the Slayfire ones, Lemonhead LA, and also like the Infinite Chrome Flakes from Danessa Myricks. And actually, I mainly use normal like packing brushes with that. But I also want to take the chance and just recommend checking out the Slayfire Cosmetics, the silicone brushes. They have a silicone applicator that's much easier to pack on, to pat on basically your brush. I'm not sponsored by Slayfire, again, I wish I was, but they do have a set that has 4 of them, one big, this one, a liner brush and an angled brush. To be honest, the liner and the angled one I never use because the glitter just does not stick to them. But those packing brushes, they're really handy. And last but not least, I do have an eyebrow brush that I want to recommend. And again, so 2017, 2016, Anastasia Beverly Hills 7B brush. This is just the best to apply your brow product with. I use this daily and I have 2 of them, and to be honest I didn't buy one of them because they both came in a set. They're mainly included in the set where you have the ABH brow powders in them. It's very good. The brush is so small and thin and dense. It definitely takes a bit of practice in my opinion, because you tend to pick up too much powder with this because this has such a dense application method to your brows that you need just to practice a bit. But if you just slightly tap in the powder and then just flick it in, or you do your line and then flick it out and then just go through the brows, that's amazing. I love this brush, so pretty. But let's be honest, A brow brush is nothing special. I think so many brands have incredible brow brushes these days. I even have one from Morphe that I really like that came in a set when I wanted to try Morphe so bad, and I just learned how awful their brush is. Oh, but the brow brush, really good. The too many B's and brushes here. And I nearly forgot one of the most important eye brushes that I use every day. And here it does not matter what brand it is, if it's high-end, if it's cheap. I have one from BH Cosmetics here. I think that set is not even available, and one from Spectrum from the lilac purple bristle set. Lip brushes. But do you know what? Lip brushes I never use on my lips. I use them for inner corner highlight. These are the best to apply your inner corner highlight with. And that's all that I have to say for this video. Let me please know down below what is your favorite brush. I'm pretty sure that some of you will recommend me Sonia G brushes. I am mentally not ready to spend this much money on brushes, but I would love to try them. So let me know what other recommendations you have down below. Don't forget to subscribe because I do fun stuff here. And if you have seen last Friday's videos, I am also hilarious. And I hope you stay here so I can see you in my next video.